But yeah,
Whipple, woggle, wazzle, woodle, woo.
What? What?
I was reading Zuckerman's thing, saying their favorite Cinema Snob video is his review of the ultra obscure special In Search of the Wow Wow Wiggle Wiggle Woggle Wad. What the fuck?
Let me see if I can remember this. In Search of the Wow Wow Wibble Woggle Wazzy Woodle Woo. Yeah. I said it. I can almost get it right because I said it a lot in that episode 10 years ago, I think. Yeah, that was an interesting treasure to find. I need to do that guy's other movie sometime, but it doesn't have nearly as memorable of a title.
It surely does sound one hell of a movie. And with that, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, one hell of a show, where AY and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. And to the beginning of
welcome to 2022.
That too, welcome to 2022. And for the beginning of this year, we have our end of the year guest with us. Welcome back for what we believe we figured out earlier the fourth time, the Cinema Snob, aka Brad Jones. Great having you again.
Thank you. I could still think of it as like an end of the year episode because I still keep accidentally saying 2021.
That happens until like February, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Still setting the wrong date on everything and stuff.
Back in school, I don't think I actually put the right year on my assignments until like March, and the only reason why is that it would become my birthday. So I'm just, I was like, the new year doesn't start until I age.
I used to be very good at it, but since like working from home for a bunch of years and with dates always just kind of running together for me, sometimes I'll still be like, it's 2017, right?
I don't think I have written out a date in so long that, like from hand, let alone, that I don't even... I cannot recall when I had last this problem. I usually, like, when I actually have to use a date, which is usually when signing something or whatever, then it's like, what day is it? So I'm not even the year, it's like, dates? But yeah, nevertheless, while we know who you are, maybe there are people here who do not know who you are. So why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, and why people should care?
Oh, no one should care. I play the Cinema Snob. You can find me on YouTube. My channel's Stoned Gremlin Productions. Or if you just type in the Cinema Snob, I'll be the first thing that comes up.
It actually does. That's how I found the website. Because it's not linked on your YouTube or your Twitter.
What is it?
Your website is not...
Oh,
it's not linked on your...
It's basically just an archive site right now. I mean, it's technically updated, but it was made when that was like the primary place you could find the stuff. But since going back to YouTube and everyone just goes to YouTube, the cinemasnob.com is basically, it was the blip day. It's totally what it was. Yeah, when everything was just kind of embedded. Now, yeah, it just basically serves as an archive site. But I do like comedy videos on exploitation movies, horror movies, sometimes some like religious movies, and current movie reviews too. Sometimes I have some weird food videos. Not as much anymore since I just turned 40, and maybe just lay off the like 30-year-old Reggie bars for a while.
Oh, come on. Look, the rust in those beer cans add character.
It's been my fountain of youth.
Exactly. You keep that healthy glow is all the residual copper.
When they said it would take years off my life, I thought it just meant aging, not like, oh, I'll die at like 39.
But yeah, what have you been up to, Brad, and what have we missed?
I finally got COVID.
Hey!
Whoa!
I joined the club, except I had the mild version. I think one of the variants. So it lasted a few days. I had an extreme headache. Had to stay inside for about a week. But I could still like taste and smell and all that. The timing was actually okay because I had to get caught up on some movies last year that I missed anyway. So I was like, oh, oh, I can, okay, well, I'm going to be home for a few days or a week. Yeah, I can probably watch, I could watch like Red Rocket, Benedetta, a few other, The Power of the Dog, or whatever that was called. So I kind of just binge watched some movies for a few days.
So it was basically the equivalent of when you're a kid and you're sick at home from school, so you just watch
Yes.
TV in bed and get soup.
Just procrastinate on my homework.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I mean,
I know that feeling.
But since you are watching movies for a living, does this mean that you technically kept working while sick when catching up on movies?
Not really, like, because this was, because I'll go see the newer movies in theaters, which is like every Thursday, unless there's something in the middle of the week. Or I'm watching something for the Snob, which means I also got to edit and take notes and all that. This was kind of just binge watching a handful over a couple days just to get caught up on some stuff for when I did like the best movies of the year list. There was still some stuff I kind of wanted to see just in case it would be something that would make it, and there was only one that did. But that's kind of what I wasn't doing any writing or editing during that. After a few days, I started working on a Snob episode, but I was mainly just kind of laying on my ass for a few days.
Yeah.
It was heaven.
I mean, at least, you know, painful headache aside.
That sucked. That really sucked.
It's the worst. I get that kind of headache when I get my booster shot. Would rather suffer through a booster than COVID again any day.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the idea.
But no, the booster's always so fucking bad. Because like, well, the second shot and then the booster were so fucking bad. I have like 103 fever.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
This is how I die. This is how I go. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Just fucking end me now. And then everyone's like, you're being over dramatic. Want to go into my body?
I was about to say, I mean, fever is a pretty good indicator that you are not just simulating, because you have like something to show for. Headache is harder to prove, but
yeah.
It really hurt.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, like you said, like it did really hurt, and I don't know if it was the case. Was it with you? Was it like the fever was bad? The fever was bad, but like it was sort of the post fever. Like the fever would still kind of come and go.
Because the thing is, when your head is just so feeling like you're in a vice grip, eventually it just travels down your body, and then it's like, oh, I know what the Tin Man felt like before the oil can.
Yeah,
This is awful.
It traveled into my eyes. It was like the fever would kind of be gone for a bit, but it was that pain that was that post-fever headache right in my eyes, and it just hurt to close it. But oh, you're right. Like the kind of joint pain, like in my arms and legs, it was like weird. It was like almost this post-workout pain, kind of. Except post-work, I'm cool with post-workout pain because that's like, oh, I feel like I did something. This was sort of like I got post-workout pain from just having a fever and laying on the couch.
It's like, I don't know who decided to put like 80-pound barbells on me while I slept, but I would like to make a complaint. It's just, But I'm just saying, if we ever get like a what superpower would you want to have question, I want to change my usual mind control powers to Freaky Friday powers. I just want I want to be, whenever I'm in extreme pain or I'm in mental turmoil, I want to Freaky Friday with anyone who says, oh, calm down, or you're fine, and just Freaky Friday with them for 30 seconds. Hear them, have them experience what I have to experience, and then go back and be like, you want to say that again?
You're right, exactly.
That's my Joker origin.
So
that's
basically, either switch bodies or reverse empathy. Instead of being able to look into into people's heads, you are able to project your own head on other people.
Just grab them by their head, and then you just get him. Oh, I mean, then I would have to touch people, and there are some people that I don't want to touch that are just awful. Human contact would be a blessing. But yeah, besides Rona, you've just been like on the grind writing Snob episodes and seeing movies.
I had some catching up to do because I had that like kind of week off from editing, writing, all that. But I'm pretty much all caught up. So now it's mainly kind of just back to doing some Snob episodes because it's really cold out. So there's my bigger projects I kind of do when it gets warmer and the colder weather's like this. It's like, okay, yeah, nothing special. Just like, all right, Snob episode on 2000 Maniacs. Yeah.
Brad crawls out of his hole from hibernation and sees that nature is back to being a sustainable temperature. I don't envy people on the East Coast. I don't envy people on the East Coast right now because there's a winter storm going on, and it is hell on earth according to the people I know who live in like New York and stuff. I think it's called Izzy. Yeah. There's no better name for a winter storm than Izzy. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Chicago, so yeah, we get those a lot too. So we get so many storm warnings, winter warnings, and all of that like sometimes I just assume there's one going on. That I'll just find out about it if it's trending on Twitter.
When I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. and saw that it was snowing in Florida and Texas, I was like,
again.
Yeah, again. It's just like, okay, cool. So let's see. We got that, and then there's parts of the Californian beaches have like tides up to here because there was a volcanic eruption in the middle of the Pacific.
Oh.
What's happening in Nebraska right now?
I believe Colorado is no longer on fire, or is it still going?
Well, that's nice.
Well, yeah, there we go. Net gain, net negative. I just assume that Wyoming is the only place in the United States where there's nothing bad happening nature-wise because there's no one who lives in Wyoming to account for it. So
there's only like a few people in Wyoming. It's like that scene from Cannibal the Musical where Trey Parker's like, "You ever been to Wyoming?" And it's just him walking in the desert. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I just think of the Garfields and Friends thing of like Wyoming doesn't exist. I mean, have you ever met someone from Wyoming? Wyoming means no.
That's true.
with fucking John as like the Americo guy, and he's just missing a piece on the map. So he just writes Wyoming.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know anyone in Wyoming. I know a bunch in Colorado. I got in-laws in Colorado, but Wyoming, I never have met anyone from Wyoming.
Hey, chat, do you know someone in Wyoming? They don't exist, and we're going to believe that they're your imaginary friend. Everyone in Wyoming is the imaginary friend of a real-life person who lives somewhere else.
Oh, Snuffleupagus, he's from Wyoming.
That would explain so much. Just have an entire state for it. Home. Yeah, and so all the stories kind of confirm each other, because if you know somebody in Wyoming and your buddy knows somebody in Wyoming, those two people in Wyoming probably know each other as well. Wink, wink, notch, notch.
No, it's basically, where's all the mythical creatures? Where's the Loch Ness monsters? Yeah. Where's unicorns?
Wyoming.
Yeah. Wyoming is the land of cryptids, imaginary friends, and magic. The rest of the world didn't deserve it, so they all consolidated in Wyoming.
SCP headquarters, also in Wyoming.
Exactly. People who've been to Wyoming got implanted with false memories, Total Recall style. This is my conspiracy of 2022, is that Wyoming is not real.
Now it's like moved up to my #1 vacation spot. I'm like, I want to go there for my next vacation, just to see what it's because I gotta know. It's sort of like when I look at like the lists that are always like the most disappointing vacation spots, and #1 is always like Mount Rushmore. And I'm like, that just makes me want to go to it even more. I gotta know how disappointing it is.
But yeah,
have you ever heard of Shrek?
But I can confirm with Simple Banjo, it seems to be basically an America thing, because over here in Berlin it's also fierce mild.
Well, let's also acknowledge is that America is one of the most unique kind of countries in the world that are in because we just have such a big geography,
Yeah.
we can have such a variety of climates happening at once.
Yeah, but you have storms and fires and floods all at the same time, so...
Mhm.
Well, yes, God hates us for good reason, but the point being is that we have a lot of biomes in one place. It's just that we don't take care of them.
It's kind of like a monster movie. You get the tornadoes and the volcanoes fighting each other, destroying the city.
I fully believe that the Titans from Greek mythology just decided to take a vacation here and never left. They haven't. But yeah, so I guess that was your time away, Brad. Max, did you have anything sizable happen?
I mean, due to the fact... Yeah, I was about to say, due to the fact that we were off for so long, all the stuff happened, Christmas, New Year's, too much to really wrap up in a... In this setting.
Yeah.
So let's boil it down to a single anecdote, because this week nothing happened. So one short little anecdote from the trip. So over Christmas, usual family visiting, but we took the boys. We took the boys in the car, because you can't really take them in train. Technically you could, but I don't think you want to. But yeah, so this was a setup, nice big new cage.
It would definitely cause a story.
Definitely, that's true. Oh, I believe was it one of my nephews or one of my nieces who was like, no, take them in the train and then let them loose in the train car. Like, yes, I will never see them back again. No, but you see. Nice setup, 2-story cage, food, bathroom, hammock, extra pillows, perfect. Let me.
Oh shit!
No, but no, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. There we go. And everything cool. We even put blankets over them so they can chill for the ride. But then going down the German Autobahn with 130 kilometers. Somebody calculate and say in the chat how much this is in miles. Bit less, but fast. Let's just say fast. I believe 130 kilometers is something that you can never do on an American street outside of a racetrack. So. We are just going down the Autobahn, and suddenly we hear a crinkling sound from behind us. And I'm just looking, or I believe I didn't even look because I had to look on an Autobahn on the street. And Denim, who was in the car with me on the passenger seat, like looking around, is like, oh, one of the boys broke out of the cage.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, could you pick him up? Whoa, what's happening? What's this? Whoa. Stuff is now... What just happened?
That was like,
whoa.
Crap, is that my end?
Oh, no, this was Discord. All of Discord just went okay by. Discord went okay by. Wait, let me share camera again. There we go.
Is there a reason Max died while I was gone?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Can you see and hear me again?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah, long story short, so I was like, could you grab him?
Universe being like, hurry up.
Exactly. But yeah, so surprisingly, he was apparently so surprised that we are speeding down the Autobahn that he was relatively docile. She could pick him up, taking on her lap, and he just looked out the window like, oh no, far too fast. And he didn't give any much more resistance, so we could go to the next resting stop and put him back in the cage. And after that he behaved, so apparently this little adventure in the adventure was enough for him. But yeah, that was probably one of the highlights of the last weeks.
All right, well, prepare to get your socks knocked off.
Oh boy, here we go.
Perfect, I'm not even wearing any.
Oh my, careful with that on Twitch. I don't want to get banned.
I mean, I am. They're the color my hair is supposed to be. But there's no toes being seen. I could have worn one of my rattier socks. That would be a different audience, though. But no, so jack shit happened on my holidays besides watching the single greatest Christmas movie of all time, which is Jingle All the Way. I love this movie so fucking much.
Right, which one was that?
If you haven't seen, it's the Schwarzenegger one.
It is that one. Oh, okay, yeah, I do know that one.
Okay, I don't think I've seen this movie since I was like 12. Watching it as an adult, I could appreciate it for the art that it is. Because, oh my god. I forgot about the entire warehouse scene with all the people, with Jim Belushi dressed up as Santa Claus and him having to fight all of them. What is happening? And then I forgot the line where they mentioned how the guy who was supposed to play Turbo Man in the parade, like, went brain dead because of an accident. And, like, this movie is genius. Why did people hate it? It's wonderful.
It's very entertaining.
Besides that, nothing really happened on the holidays. Besides, I saw a dog get a Christmas bow accidentally yeeted onto its head because it was asleep. Because Brett's parents' dog, Charlotte, little old girl, still making it strong. She gave us a half-to-death scare a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
But then she was fine. Because, of course, she's going to be 15 next month. Little bratty dachshund. She was asleep on the couch. Brett's brother was opening up a gift. It was suction. He pulls it open. A Christmas bow just rockets and lands on top of Charlotte's head. She looks up, and then she falls back asleep. I long to have that energy of just not caring. But then I'm going to have to be a 15-year-old dachshund, which is how much in dog years?
A lot.
Is 7 times 15? Yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah.
105.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, that dog's going to be immortal.
Yeah, but this times 7 rule doesn't really apply to all breeds of dogs, I dare to say. Smaller ones get a lot older. Dachshunds get forever old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also,
they're full of personality.
Also, did you guys know that there was a sequel?
We don't talk
I saw
about
some
that.
of it. I saw some of it this holiday season because I also I've seen Jingle All the Way a couple times. I saw it in theaters when it came out, but we were in Springfield, we were in the hotel, and Jingle All the Way was on, and we're like, oh well, that's just what we're watching. And the second one was on after that, and we caught like maybe the first half hour.
So what you're saying, Key, is that we don't talk about Jingle All the Way too.
No, and no. But no, besides that, I just want to introduce you to someone special,
oh boy,
courtesy of people who bought stuff off my Amazon wish list. I want to remind everyone, I will be 25 in like 2 months. I am a tax-paying, self-employed woman. What was the thing I wanted the most for Christmas? Was a blue piggy bank.
Yeah.
He is a round boy. His name is Pancetta, and he's keeping my Italy money in there. He's a good lad, and you will all respect him.
Does he have an opening hatch at the bottom, or do you actually need to? I was like, or is it actually one you need to destroy to get to the money?
Like in the cartoons.
How dare you say that? Imply that in front of him.
No, you don't have to.
Apologize.
I wasn't aware that he already has a ripped open stomach that's crudely plugged up with a piece of plastic that preserves him from being smashed into pieces. I'm sorry for assuming that he was in one piece.
You better be.
The Simpsons episode where Homer breaks it with a hammer, and I think Lisa was like, Dad, why didn't you just unscrew it from the bottom?
Basically.
Yeah.
You always see it in movies that they always need to break it.
Well, yeah, because usually those things are made of porcelain. This thing's made of plastic. Because he's a good round boy.
So you need to hammer extra hard.
No! I am not hurting Pancetta.
I can do it. I mean, if you need to get to the money, I'm offering my services here. You need to get to the money. You can't bring it over yourself to slaughter him yourself. I have no soul. I can take care of it.
I'm scared to bring him to Italy. One, because there would be no use because I would need to get the money in here transferred to euros. And secondly, I don't want there to be a murder happening while we're in Italy, Max. Just, I mean, if there's going to be a murder, it won't be of the pig. Let alone the fact that I did name him after a food you make out of his people, but he doesn't know that. Because he's not real.
He does know, because you didn't cover his ears.
Max, it's not real. You're acting ridiculous. But anyways, so... anyways, besides that, no, it's just been working and living and working and living and,
making... this new awkward art for 2022.
Oh yeah, I made
Nice.
this, and yes, I did. I did make that. I love how it turned out. I did not realize that when we put it there, it was going to point to the live side, basically.
Look,
So
we are
that was
live.
a happy accident.
That's really cool.
It's also going to point to when Max accidentally hits pre-show instead of post-show. So, but yeah, besides that, we had a Free Idiots where we ranked our movies of 2021. That went well. There was only one movie that got into Crimes Against Humanity, which was the Tom and Jerry movie. If I remembered to put Dear Evan Hansen on there, I would have put Dear Evan Hansen in the Crimes Against Humanity movie.
Did you ever upload the end list? No. Did you?
I did. It's in your server.
Oh, in my
I'll grab it.
server.
But
What
yeah,
was
it's
your
in
number
main.
one worst?
Wait.
No, I mean on the tier list, the Crimes Against Humanity is the lowest, so that was Tom and Jerry.
Oh, okay,
But I
gotcha.
Besides that, I think in like the Garbo category we had
Wait. I'm scrolling
Did
for it.
Eternals go into Garbo, which was the second?
Nah, this was just... Oh, wait, was it? Oh, yeah, I might have put it into Garbo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we are posting
People
too
talking
much
this
in this room. Jesus.
Okay, here it is.
Okay, you beat me to it.
Here we go. So we got Tom and Jerry in the
There we go.
lowest, and Cruella and Eternals and Garbo. Raya, Black Widow, Mortal Kombat, The Tomorrow War, House of Gucci, and Dune Part 1, an airplane movie. Then the Free Guy, MLP, Arlo, Red Notice, Godzilla, Vivo, Space Jam 2, and Wish Dragon, and Nice. And then great stuff, you got Luca in the Heist, Tick, Tick, Boom, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man No Way Home. We only had one person really arguing against No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's the same guy who likes the So Many Grinch movie. So,
Oh.
yeah. Down here.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
and then Masterpiece, we got Encanto, Mitchell's, Suicide Squad, and Afterlife. Afterlife was my choice. Executive. I'm not going to put Afterlife below Masterpiece in my book. Fuck anyone who has another opinion. You're valid, but I don't care. But yeah, so that was fun. Besides the fact that it went for 4 hours because we talk way too much.
Oh, that's such a... That's an easy type of video for that to happen, too. We just did our worst stuff video. It's not public yet because it's fighting Content ID because of frickin' Coming to America 2. But we ended up going. It was over an hour. But in the past, there's been times where we've done our worst list and it has gone on as long as like Gone with the Wind.
But yeah, that was cool. And then besides that, it's just been like I revamped my Patreon. I actually did quite a bit, actually. Oops. I revamped my Patreon, and then I got a bunch of artists together for a big project I'm going to be working on over the course of the year, which is this big boy retrospective of the real Ghostbusters, because that was a big cartoon I grew up with, and it's 35 years old. Yeah, it's going to be a big one, and there's going to be animated bits in between. And I actually split the price with my friend Chris to buy the actual like Firehouse box set that they released way back in the day.
Oh yeah,
the Times collection that has all the special. I'm gonna rant. So
oh boy,
they then we can go to media. This was my last thing. Okay. So in like 2008, 2009, they released this big box set of Real Ghostbusters, all the episodes, everything, and then they had an extra disc that has all the special features like commentaries, interviews, all this good stuff, right? They released the first 3 volumes of it separately. But to get the 4th and 5th volume, the 5th volume having all the special features, the only way you can get it is buying that entire box set. You want to know how much that box set can go for? $400 to $600.
What?
Worth every penny.
We were really lucky. We found one that was for $200 because there's a slight ding on the box.
Yeah.
The cardboard, and it was like. And, like, I think the first volume was open. But that was, like, an immense deal. Because the thing is, I need all that research material that's in there because, surprisingly, even though this has been out since 2009, no one has uploaded all the special features to the internet.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had to, so we split the bill on that. He got to keep the pretty box set. I got all the episodes on this and the special features on this little USB drive. Sadly, this includes all the episodes of just Slimer.
They didn't fit on there. It's
No, it did. It did. I have every episode of Slimer on here.
Oh, you do?
The separate series that they made, where it looks like it's made from people who made Tiny Toons, which it was, and it's not good by any stretch of the imagination. But I need it because I'm reviewing the entire thing. I can't just pick and choose the things I like. We have to go into the nitty-gritty.
Oh yeah.
But it's been a fun journey, and I got a bunch of storyboard artists. 2. My friend Lauren and someone named Amber, who's really good, and my friend Spade, who's doing the character designs to make the people who's going to be in the animated bits look like they're in the cartoon, which is a lot of fun, and I'm very excited. The animated bits are called the Kinda Real Ghostbusters, and it's going to be fun. This is the one big project where I'm like, I'm super excited. This makes me want to create other content so that way I can push my channel up, so that way I can have this be front and center.
One.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be great.
You also watching Extreme Ghostbusters?
Oh, great
Extreme Ghostbusters, I'm saving for a separate video, but it's going to be mentioned in because I did the math of how long all of these parts are going to be. I have to split it up into 3 parts.
Yeah.
And so each one is like a separate production, and I have a feeling the first part itself may be 1 hour to 2 hours long. Not the animated bits. The animated bits may be only 10 minutes, but the video essay part. And that's why I'm getting sick and tired of all these people shitting on Quentin reviews and shit for their long videos. It's you don't have to watch them all in one sitting. Would you rather them be extended out to 50 smaller 20-minute videos? Because then you're going to complain.
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't know what you want. But
YouTube likes longer videos, too.
Exactly.
But I just realized a strong argument against Ghostbusters Afterlife. It decanonizes Extreme Ghostbusters. They cannot both. No, they cannot both be canonically correct at the same time.
How so?
Isn't the mentor in Extreme Ghostbusters Egan? Plus, ghost activities continue going on after the 80s?
No, because the thing is that it goes... Because Extreme Ghostbusters takes place early 2000s, post Ghostbusters 2, the hauntings thin, but they eventually come back because that's why Egon is a professor in that series. Also, weird fact, he's apparently not even 40 by the time the series actually is happening. Extreme Ghostbusters, I think he says he's 38, which is a very weird thing.
Yeah.
But point being that it can still canonize that by just saying he went crazy right afterwards. Because it seems like we're in the Ghostbusters universe, it's a constant state of the portal to the spirit world just gets thinner and then closes, but then opens up, closes, opens up, closes. Because that's how, and that's probably going to be what they say when there's the next movies in the franchise. Either that or the containment unit blows up again. Who knows?
It wasn't there, granted, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but the show. But was there a thing in real Ghostbusters where like the movie Ghostbusters was a movie in the show's universe?
Okay. Yes. Hi guys. Welcome to the Ghostbusters cast. So, hey, I had nothing. This is more interesting than anything I'm going to say about Hotel Transylvania 4. So, yes and no. So, they did make Ghostbusters in the cartoon. They had a whole episode, I think, in the first season saying, "Hey, we are making Ghostbusters 1 the movie," but it's a fit, but with like the characters of with the actors of Bill Murray, Harold, Dan, and all that. So in the real Ghostbusters, they're actual people, and the actors we know today are recreating it. But the whole thing of like them having the tan suits and Gozer and everything did happen in the cartoon, because they had this whole episode where they're old. The greatest explanation for why they have color-coded outfits is that the marshmallow from when they blew up Stay Puft is covered in like ghost ecto remains, so the suits become alive and just try to kill the Ghostbusters, which is genius. And that's why I love this show. You can't expect any less from J. Michael Straczynski, because if you like Babylon, you're gonna like real Ghostbusters, because it's the same fucking person. Also, you always wanted Slimer to get hurt, and I'm gonna respect that, because there's a whole opening thing where it's like, you know, if you see a character named Slimer, you just want to punch the bejesus out of him. That's one of my favorite things I've ever heard someone say who worked on an actual show. But yes, so I will close my Ghostbusters mouth now. But yes, people will be seeing a lot of that on my page, because that's literally what I'm working on behind the scenes.
Subscribe to her channel and follow her on Twitter for more Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Please ignore all my posts about Egon. That's completely unrelated. We don't.
But the simping is what fuels your energy for the big Ghostbuster special.
Look, I'm sorry that I have taste in who my favorite Ghostbuster is. I'm so sorry. Only uncultured people prefer Venkman. I'm sorry. Honestly, really uncultured people prefer Venkman, because we rewatched the first and second movie when Max was visiting in November, and God, Venkman is kind of slimy.
Yeah, if Bill Murray wouldn't have his charisma, his character would be the worst. I mean, I
love Venkman, because he is kind of this slimy con artist. But the older I get, the more Egon's my favorite.
Yes, Egon has always been my favorite, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely, to me, one of the funniest, but he helped write the movie. I cannot wait to get that full... Well, I can't wait to get the full fucking box, because I pre-ordered the box set of the Ultimate Collection, because it has like 20 hours of deleted scenes. I need to know what were the parts that Dan wrote that Harold was like, Dan, we can't do this. I want to see that full ghost blowjob scene. I want to see it.
I've seen the ones that are on the DVD from the early 2000s that had the part where Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray were playing the two homeless guys, and it just like rambles on for like 15 minutes. And whatever other deleted scenes were on that DVD, I saw them.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot more. But I hope one of them is fucking Dan Aykroyd getting a BJ from a random ghost lady in an army barrack. I need that in my life, man. But yes, anyways, moving on to media. I'm sorry. When Brad's here, all hell breaks loose.
It's true. Okay, so we are doing a total lightning round on media. Am I right? Right?
Yes, totally.
So what are your medias, by the way? I believe you mentioned it, Key, didn't you?
My media is Hotel Transylvania 4. Transformia, or whatever it's called. Because,
that's the
name. Last movie in your... Just call it Hotel Transylvania 4. That's what it is. But yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It was supposed to come out in Halloween. They were like, nope, it's going to be on Amazon Prime in January. Because that makes sense. And, like, Adam Sandler is not in the movie because he was playing Dracula. He actually got replaced with a YouTuber named Brian Hull, which I'm pretty sure 90% of the people who were around in 2012 internet remember him because he did like that really famous cover of Let It Go as other Disney characters. He's a really
yeah.
Also, are you officially already in your media?
Yes.
Oh boy. Please continue.
And also, weirdly enough, like Kevin James is also not in the movie as Frankenstein, which I'm just like, what the fuck else are you doing that you're not in this movie, Kevin? I can kind of understand Adam Sandler, but what the hell is Paul Blart doing?
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, everyone else came back, like Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, Catherine Hahn, Jim Gaffigan, and all that. So cool. But yeah, the basic thing of it is just like Drax about to retire. He wants to give the hotel to Mavis, but he doesn't trust Johnny to really take care of the place, Andy Samberg's character. So he lies to Johnny and says, only monsters can own the hotel. So Johnny gets himself turned into a monster because he doesn't want Mavis to lose the chance of having the hotel. Then he becomes a dragon, and then the rest of the movie is him and Drac, who got accidentally turned into a human, to figure out how to transform back into their respective things. And it's cute. It's an entirely competent family movie. The animation's amazing, but that's to be expected in the Hotel Transylvania movies, because they are basically, along with Cloudy, like the first real examples, well, maybe in Madagascar from DreamWorks, the first real examples of 3D animation being able to emulate 2D kind of principles. Just like the squash and stretch and going off model and all that stuff. And I'm sick and tired of fucking people saying it's over animated. No, you just don't want cartoons to look like cartoons, you assholes. But like the slapstick's really funny. It's not particularly like gross out humor or anything, which I appreciate. It's not anything to write home about, but it's very cute. Like, it does have a heart there. I think it's the one thing, though, is just I'm kind of like, I understand what you were going for here, having Drac be human, having him turn into a monster. Are we never going to point out the fact that Johnny's going to fucking die and get outlived by Mavis and probably their kid because the kid's half vampire? Why not just let the resolution be him becoming a vampire?
I mean, all she needs to do is bite him. How does it work? How does it work in that universe? Because Mavis is a born vampire. Yeah.
Yeah, and by how it seems, Drax acting, he's been a vampire his entire life. But his father is basically Count Olaf, so he was a natural born vampire. So it's just like, okay then. I guess vampires don't spread. But I think this is totally, like, it's a good family movie. I feel like you don't need to see the third one to get what's going on, besides the fact that Drac has a wife now, which is Catherine Hahn's character. I don't get why they waited till January to release it. But I think it's just a fun little movie. Like, I did laugh during it. I mean, you have a lot of charismatic people in the cast. So, the most confusing thing in that movie, though, is that there's a cameo from a YouTuber in it, and he gets, like, a main credit. And I don't know why. Because he has, like, it's this guy named Ninja, who's, like, this blue-haired...
Oh, okay.
Blue hair. The Fortnite guy?
Yeah.
that constantly gets memed, and he plays a monster in the movie. But he's only there for, like, the opening scene. But in the end credits, like, the animated end credits, he gets a fucking credit saying Tyler Ninja Blevins. And he's one of the last credits you see. Like, and it's just like, what the... What's in your contract that you get a credit like that? I want to see this contract, because it gave me the same energy as Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World, where he was there for 2 scenes, probably filmed at the same time as each other, and he gets an "and" credit. Bullshit! But, like, I mean, he has the right. He's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mr. Fortnite Taki Man does to deserve that, but like they didn't even make a reference to what he does.
He's just there.
He's just there as this weird little sea monster who wears like the bandana and has blue tentacles on his head like Ninja does, and it's just like cool. You know, it's especially weird when you have a YouTuber playing the main character of the movie, because Brian Hull is a YouTuber and a voice actor. So it's just kind of like seeing this dichotomy of having one in for one's sake and one for talent. It's just like, you could have replaced Tyler's character with any other YouTuber. You could have put a Mr. Beast monster in there, or you could have put like anything else, and you could have put a Cinema Snob monster in there.
Yeah, you could have had me in there drinking a Billy beer and eating a Reggie bar.
Exactly. I mean, like, we're eating it like that, you wouldn't be dead in a monster. But it's just really funny to me. I don't know why. It's kind of like, because I've just seen YouTubers in movies recently, like, because Jacksepticeye's in Free Guy, and it's just like, it's just kind of like, I'm waiting for the day that I could become big enough that I could just be in a movie, and I just, my goal in life is to be in like a really bad kids show or kids movie, and I want to be the villain, and I feel like being a YouTuber may help me with that.
There was one.
I want to be.
I hear that.
Yeah. Who was it? Who was his villain in? I believe was it the first Spy Kids or something? Where you also think like, what is it? How did this actor get wrapped into this silly role? But he seemed to have fun with it.
No,
Who was it?
No, it was Spy Kids 3D, and it was Sylvester Stallone playing like the guy who has like the three split personalities.
Apparently, then this was a recurring thing, because I'm definitely not thinking of Sylvester Stallone.
I mean, there's multiple, because Steve Buscemi was in Spy Kids too, because he says do you think God stays away from his creation because he's scared of what he made? But like, no, just fucking. Would I recommend everyone go see Hotel Transylvania for? It's for free on Amazon Prime. You wouldn't lose anything. You wouldn't gain anything. But I think like people like ravenously shitting on it, like it's the death of cinema, are like just unhappy with life in general, so they see something that radiates positivity and aims their target shooters for it. Because it's a happy movie. It's just a happy movie, and and like there's nothing wrong with that. If you want some bright colors with sometimes some really good jokes and a really good vocal performance from everyone, I actually prefer Brian's vocal performance over Adam Sandler's. So,
yeah, I was gonna ask how he did, because when I saw the trailer for it, it sounded really close, like to the point to where I just thought it was Adam Sandler.
It's not a perfect voice double, but the thing is that he puts so much more personality into it that to me it's better than Adam, because there's so many times in the movies where I just feel like Adam is just Adam putting on a voice and not the character of Dracula. So
sure,
but yeah. I guess people who don't like the Hotel Transylvania movies in the first place won't like this movie. And I guess if you just don't want something that's so fast-paced all the time and you can get sensory overload easily, don't watch it. It is a very, especially in visuals, very overload your senses kind of movie. And I know there's people who just can't do that. So yeah. I mean, if you like Centaur World, you may like if you like the zaniness of Centaur World, maybe you would like that too.
Yeah,
but there's not as much. Oh no, I thought you said something.
Oh, I was. It looked like the main reviews for it are kind of middle of the road. Like maybe like audience, or it might be like really low, but critic wise, it's just kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, it's perfectly competent, and you know what? I've seen some bad, shitty animated films. And I'm fine with this. If this is middle of the road, everything else above it is really above it.
Did you see Addams Family 2? That was bad.
Don't remind me of Addams Family. The fact that went to theaters and not this is very sad.
Yeah, God, yeah.
This would have looked very pretty in theaters, because this is a very nice looking movie. So that will make me mad. So I end my thing mad. So
excellent.
So Brad, what have you seen recently that you could spin a web about?
Have you seen this movie that's trending on Netflix right now that's called Brazen?
What's it called?
No, do tell.
Oh my god, this was awful in some of the best ways. So we were just
How do you spell it?
Brazen.
BR.
It's trending at like number 1 or 2 over on Netflix. The other day it was number 2. So I was like, oh, what's this Brazen thing? I'm like, oh, okay, it's about like someone who's investigating the death of their sister. All right. My wife pulls up the reviews for it, and she's like, oh my God, this has a ridiculously low critic and audience score, and reviews are comparing it to a Hallmark Christmas movie. I'm like, oh my God, we're watching this. like she goes, she's like, did I accidentally just sell you on this movie? I'm like, yes, we were watching this piece of shit. And it was like, it doesn't take place during Christmas or anything like that, but it is shot that way. It's acted that way. It just feels like it's in the same universe, because when you look at the crew members, writers, directors, they've done quite a few Hallmark Christmas movies and like Lifetime thrillers. So Alyssa Milano stars in this as a crime fiction writer, and her sister is a teacher and also a S&M webcam performer, but on the most PG-13 porn site you've ever been on in your life. Like,
oh boy.
Whoever wrote this, like, it seems like, I don't know, maybe their experience with this is just watching 50 Shades of Grey or something like that, but like a TV edit of it. So her sister is murdered, and Alyssa Milano.
I hope I found the right one.
Let's see. I can't tell. Brazen 2022. Like it. I imagine that's. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the poster. So that was the thumbnail on Netflix for a little bit, till they changed it earlier to make it look more like a crime documentary. Like in the movie, they even mention one of the new crime documentaries on Netflix. So her being a crime novelist, that means she's got all the expertise in the world to just go to the police station and immediately be the person in charge of this case. So there's a cop. This cop is investigating it. And before her sister was murdered, he was on a date with Alyssa Milano. And then after the murder, the cop is like, well, I went out with the sister, so clearly we should be the ones investigating. So they start investigating it. Alyssa Milano goes into the police station at one point because more than one cam girl starts getting murdered. And Alyssa Milano says to the police captain, she goes, look, I am an expert in this field. I've written several best-selling mystery novels. For instance, that body right there is positioned. That one there isn't. And the captain goes, my God, you're right. Give her all the access she needs.
So basically like Castle, but not good.
Yes. Yeah. Because since it has to do with like sex and murder and all this, I'm watching it going, if this was made like 40 years ago, it could have been like a cool Paul Schrader movie or Abel Ferrara movie. Because at one point, Alyssa Milano is like, I got it. I will go undercover as a webcam girl on this S&M site. I'll give myself the same name as my sister who was murdered to lure in the killer. And I'm sitting there going, I mean, maybe they'd want an undercover cop to do this. Whatever. So it has the world's most obvious killer, too. The second the killer comes on screen, I was like, that person did it. Like, this person does everything except say I'm the killer. Down to, like, shifty eyes, saying weird shit.
Nice mustache to swirl.
Well, trying to act too nice to where it's like, this person's faking. This person did it. And normally I would be like, okay, this is just a red herring. But no, this is a really badly written movie. So I'm like, this isn't a red herring. It's the person who did it. And it was. But I had a great time watching this because it was like just bad in some of the best ways possible. So it should be on Lifetime, but it's like a Netflix movie.
I started looking up the writers. One of the writers was like a writer for this Swedish show called My Life as a Dog in the 90s.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one, wrote like, I guess this kind of like skit video movie called The Sex and Violence Family Hour.
Ha!
I mean, that's what this felt like, because like I said, it is like the world's most PG-13 porn site. And when they go into the main offices of this site, this Pornhub type site, there's like, okay, imagine like I'm the desk. I'm sitting here at the desk of the person in charge. And then behind her on the wall are like 6 TV screens, all showing live feeds of different channels on this porn site. But it's all weird. Like, it's like one guy looks like he's demon possessed. Another is just kind of like dressed in leather and yelling at the camera. I'm looking at it going like, surely the Pornhub offices aren't actually like this. I feel like this would be really distracting for anyone sitting on the opposite side of this desk, seeing all that shit behind the person.
It just sounds like that fucking the episode of South Park where they put the TSA in people's bathrooms and there's the one guy with all the TVs looking at people.
Oh yeah. It's exactly like that. But I'll probably do like a mini review of it or something on the site, because it is still trending.
Why is it number 2? How many people are watching it unironically is my question.
Unironically, I don't know. That's a really good question, because there's one part where they mention the Times Square killer, which is a documentary that's on Netflix. That's actually really good. It's a really good crime documentary. And Alyssa Milano mentions it in the movie when she's in the police station, and she goes, "You need my help, lest you forget." She goes, "Lest you forget that it took them 8 months to find the Times Square killer." And I'm going, yeah, because that was 40 years ago when forensics were different.
It
was amazing.
You're encouraging everyone to watch this.
You gotta watch it. I'm like, it's terrible, but you gotta watch it. If you like this kind of like bad movie trash, totally.
Oh, I love trash cinema. Especially if you look at the Sex and Violence Family Hour.
Okay, there it is.
Yes.
Favorite.
Top 10 in Germany today. Brazen number 3.
Oh,
yeah, there
God,
it is.
Okay,
German
so
Netflix
Germany's
season.
a little bit better than us in what they choose. What's number 1 and number 2?
Number 1, Cop
Yeah.
Shop.
Oh, that's cool.
Then number 2, Stay Close.
Yeah.
And only number 6 is The Office, which only now dropped in German Netflix. And this might actually be the first time that The Office is in German. I'm not sure.
Number 1 in
over
the US
here,
is something called Cheer.
Yeah, Cheer. Yeah, that's been number 1 for a couple of days.
Cobra Kai is number 4 and Stay Close is number 5.
No, and I still got to see the new season of Cobra Kai. I have to time it out with my wife going to work, because she's never seen the show before. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess wait for her to go to work so I can try to find time to see season 4.
Cobra Kai, the one good thing to come out of YouTube Red that isn't even owned by YouTube Red anymore.
Whoopsie.
That's true. I forgot it started out as a YouTube Red show. That's right.
Oh, God, what a timeline. But anyway, so that was Brad's. Max, you've had ample time.
I had ample time, and I eventually picked one, which I also watched and finished over the last few weeks. So maybe you have heard of it. It's also on Netflix. It's a very obscure show. Definitely nobody talked about at all. So I finally got around to watch Squid Game. And yes, so I mean, I guess a very short summary for people who have really no clue what Squid Game is. It's basically a few hundred people who are deeply in debt, get an invite to the Squid Game. And it's basically they get to play children's games. Whoever is the winner gets millions upon millions of won, which is like, I checked the currency, it's divided by 1,000, and you have basically the current. It's still, you end up, if you are the sole winner, you go home with $43 million. So for a single person, you can live a good life after that. And so they are desperately in-depth people, and you see those children's games like green light, red light, they slightly escalate, and the numbers of people drop drastically. So and you follow a shrinking group of named characters among those hundreds of background characters, and it's beautifully messed up. But what I really want to talk about is the aspect, what I find so interesting when you watch a Korean show, because especially towards the end, I watched it together with Denim, and funny enough, we started watching it actually with my mom, who is definitely not a binge watcher and actually is not into bloody shows. But
sure.
we were just over Christmas, we were at home and with my parents, and my dad was out and my mom was just there, and we were like, do we want to watch something? Yeah, sure, let's watch something. Hey, what about Squid Game? We really wanted to see that. It's a little bit bloody and stuff, but maybe you like it. So my mom started to be like, oh, come on, one more episode. And it turned into binge watching. I'm like, my mom binge watches Squid Game with me. What's happening?
Nice.
Yeah, but when we didn't get to finish it while we were still there, and then after we were back in Berlin a few days later, I get a WhatsApp. So by the way, I finished Squid Game by myself. Like, whoa, Mom, what's up? But towards the end of the show, in the beginning it's like, okay, setup and whatnot, and stuff keeps developing. It already starts with one thing, that the protagonist is an absolutely unforgivingly unlikable asshole, which is, even when you have an asshole protagonist in a Western show, they still end up kinda likable. But you have the good old save the cat moment. Even so, fun fact, in Squid Game, this absolutely unlikable asshole protagonist did feed a little bit of fish to a street cat in one of the first episodes, so they have literally a save the cat-esque moment in it. But it doesn't help. He is too much of an asshole to make up for it. So besides having the protagonist you hate for more than half of the show because he's just such a horrible human being, especially towards the end, we were like, whoa, we are about to see a heroic sacrifice. No, this character just died. Okay, now this is going to happen. Oh, nope, they did something which completely like, I absolutely did not see this coming. It's like, what this show reminded me of is like, we are so not used to specifically Western media and the Western media formula, hero's journey and whatnot, and the especially German media landscape is mirroring the US one very strongly. I mean, 60-70% of movies that run or shows that run on German television are dubbed for eigenproduction, a huge amount from America. So it all feels very the same. And then having a show from a completely different culture, it's like, wow, I can't predict what's going to happen. It's an actually new experience. So for that reason alone, I would say Squid Game is a very interesting watch. If you are not into anything bloody and are even more squeamish than my mom or Denim, then probably skip it. Go for another one. Netflix is buying up the entire Asian movie and show market at the moment.
It's Squid Game. It's just a fun family game show.
Definitely,
right?
definitely. Where they play the most innocent of games, children's playground games.
Red light, green light.
Exactly. Tug of war. The Squid Game itself, which we don't even know in Europe, which is great. if the titular game, or America probably also, if the titular game is like, okay, I have no clue what you are supposed to do in it. But yeah. That's basically my thing. If you really, if you want to watch something that is just breaking from the formula, to remind you that there's more outside of the Western world media bubble, you could do worse than Squid Game. And also all the memes, so for that alone is probably good. You want to be able to be,
I guess the big question
water cooler talk. Yeah.
Outside of people who just have trouble reading subtitles like you because you are a slow baby man reader, would you tell people to actually watch the dubs, or would you encourage them to watch it in their original?
Oh, that's a very, very curious one, because I watched it in German, so I can only speak on the German dub, so it gets even worse. Because my mom, while being able to speak English, not great on watching stuff in English.
How
like
was
she
the
wants
German
to relate.
dub? Was it goofy?
It was okay.
Were they able to capture emotions? Because, that's always a catch-22.
I mean, I didn't have a base to compare it to, which is like in cartoons, like currently also watching the German dub for She-Ra, and it's like, it's not bad, but they took all the character out of the voices, like Scorpia, big lady who actually has a little bit of a gruff voice, has like just a girly nice voice, like no, it's or Entrapta also normal girl voice.
Gruff personality would scare the Germans. Like they have to always be just fragile little Fraulines.
They take all the they also took Entrapta and just gave her girly voice. It's just all the voices are just. They are not cartoony anymore, but it's a fucking cartoon. Let the cartoon characters sound like cartoon characters.
There's something really funny about the Germans taking away the personality and cartooniness out of characters.
Yeah.
Not to stereotype, but don't make it so easy.
It's not my choice. So yeah, I cannot really speak on the Squid Game dub versus sub debate since I watched the German dub. So it was okay. It was not great, but then again, those characters, like the actors, also don't emote a lot, because I guess Koreans are one of those very stoic cultures.
I mean, when you're exhausted from all the fun Double Dare 2000 games like they are, would you be full of energy
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's so I guess overall you recommend.
I would definitely overall recommend, with a few red flags for people who really can't stand blood or, I don't know, cultural diversity by watching a show from a different culture. But yeah.
So unless you're xenophobic, think xenophobic or squeamish, you'll like Squid Game. Good job.
Excellent. But yeah, before we go to the Q&A, we got to talk about some fan art. I guess you might be most qualified to speak on it, since Doc.
This is fan art of the Three Idiots. Yeah,
exactly.
Doc Holliday.
It's your show. Yeah, it's your show, and basically your personal fan artist by now. I have our fan art for backlog for awkward. At this point, it's like, from all your Let's Plays, all the images that Doc draw.
Hey, Doc. Look.
There he is even, yes.
Draw me and Max as the characters from It Takes Two. That'll be some relevant fan art.
Well, it's true. I mean, my current thumbnail that I used is... I realized I basically did the exact same thumbnail for It Takes Two that DA Games had, because it's like the same poster, and I used your headshot drawings, your bubblehead drawings, and just used mine and yours instead of Will's and Chris's. So it's basically the same thumbnail.
We are all derivative, but yes, I command it, Doc. Get out of here. But there's nothing funnier than this, than just a single slapping noise, because I'm simple. But yes, thank you, Doc, for the art. You are wonderful. And now, The Q&A, the pressing questions of the masses that they have waited till 2022 for.
Yes.
Do we have any on Twitter?
We do have them on Twitter. So we have, first of all, like topical from official J. Bryan. Since it's now 2022, saying thanks, yes, it is. What one show stood out to you the most last year?
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait,
What about you, Brad?
I actually had the answer earlier, but I forgot about it.
I'm trying to think if I watched any new show last year. Did I? I don't remember if I actually watched any new show from last year. It was like, yeah,
old show.
Don't feel bad about waiting this long to see Squid Game because I haven't seen it yet either. I just mostly watch
movies.
or even like before I got on here, we were just watching some episodes of Seinfeld. So,
Seinfeld is the standout show 2021. That show's gonna go places.
It always will be. I'm sure there was something, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. You season 3. We watched You season 3. That was good.
Okay, well there you go. I think mine would have to be Centaur World, in that how it was able to balance the most batshit ideas that I've seen since like season 1 Adventure Time with actual like really compelling world building and storytelling. It really is just, what would have Adventure Time been if it didn't have like 8 seasons of filler? Like, wow. Everyone shits on Steven Universe for filler. Lest we forget that Adventure Time had a season with 52 episodes and then a season right after with 43. Let me tell you, not all of those were for lore. But yeah, Centaur World's probably my standout show because it is a show that I know a lot of people like who usually wouldn't like the things in that show. So it somehow became the most palpable show while being one of the weirdest shows of the year. So there you go. What about you, Max?
High-Rise Invasion. No.
Oh my god, this fucking show. We finished watching it.
Yeah, we finished.
I want to see a sequel just because it was so bad.
It was bad. I mean, for people who don't recall, our attention got to High-Rise Invasion because Red on this show explicitly talked about that it was so bad that they had to stop watching after 2 episodes, I believe. And we two were like, we need to check it out now. And we got intrigued by its badness, so we stuck with it through the entire season. We watched the entire first season, but this was actually my joke answer. This was not my real answer.
What's your real answer?
My real answer would probably be Arcane. I know it's boring, but Arcane. I'm actually now currently looking forward for us to finish German watch through of She-Ra, so then we can do a German watch through of Arcane. So I have an excuse to watch Arcane again. Hopefully the dub will keep up, but it's a Netflix original. Usually they do good dubs. Let's just hope that the characters are allowed to still have character in their voices.
Fingers crossed. I can't wait to see the I only was trying to help scene with German dub actors just not doing anything.
I mean, they do good acting.
The angry stuff will be great in the German dub.
I mean,
I will watch Squid Game, but dubbed in German and subtitled in English.
Excellent plan. But yes. Once again, in Squid Game, they actually don't emote too much in their voices, so because they also have very stoic exteriors.
That is besides the point. Let us watch every show in German with English subtitles.
Sounds like a great plan. That's how to watch movies in 2022.
Exactly. Okay, so that was that question. Let's see what we got on the Discord side of things, which if people don't know, we have Max has a new
It's
Discord.
True. It's the link down below, specifically for fans of this show or the other shows.
Let's see. Here's one from, I'm guessing that's a kangaroo emoji as their name. Thanks, buddy. Ask Awkward. If you had the chance to invent anything you want, what would it be? Plot twist, you cannot use the invention yourself. Why? Then how the fuck am I going to test it? Am I just going to get a poor sap to test my things on? Because let me tell you, those things can have violent consequences. But yes, if I could invent anything... So I guess you would have unlimited funds that you could make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, what I would do is that I would invent a VR headset that's in the shape of a box. And just... So it ends basically right here at your shoulders. So you can have like 3 TVs at once, and I would call it the binge box. So you can binge watch every, 3 shows at once, and you basically just learn through osmosis. I'm sure there's some Idiocracy parallels we can make here, but yeah, that's mine.
Brett, you want to go next? I'm trying to come up with the master plan on it.
So if it's something that I couldn't use myself, I guess it would be something that people want, but I have no interest in. So maybe I know there's been some prototypes of this, I think, but all right, I guess officially make self-driving cars a thing.
And you're the only crazy person left on the road driving yourself.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I would ever get in one of those. I'd be a nervous wreck. So I'm but people really want those, so okay, I can make that a thing and certainly profit off of it, but still stick with my own car.
You should make a self-driving car that automatically has a repellent chip against your car, so cars always go away from you. So if you're driving on the freeway, everyone pulls over. So I could just go through like an ambulance. Because technically, you're not using the invention. The invention's just doing its thing.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah. That's what I would do.
Okay, what about you, Max?
Okay.
You're the beacon of creativity.
Oh, yeah, but I had a mission this time, so I just needed to crack the code. So...
Okay.
Liebesstern was like, okay, you can't use it yourself. But, so, I need to what I need to design is something that other people use to make my life better. So, what I invent is the smart box. So it's basically, it is a box with a button, and when you push the button, I don't know, you get zapped or whatever, which makes you smarter. And then I give it to all the people who are idiots. Somebody makes a very stupid Twitter take, then I send the smart box to them hey dude, have you ever tried a smart box? They click it, they get smarter.
Supply shortage in the world of how many people need
Probably. But yeah, then they get to use it, and then they click it, and then they go back to their Twitter. Now they are like, oh wow, that was a really smart, really dumb take, and they remove all their dumb tweets. And the only tiny downside of it is that by the law, if you think it through, at the end of the world, I will be at the end of this entire thing, I will be objectively the dumbest person on the planet, because if everybody can use it, and even the people who already are smarter than me, they already are smarter than me, and if I send it to everybody who is dumber than me, then they get smarter than me, and I'm officially, has something, right? Officially being the dumbest person on the planet, ironically after inventing the smart box.
Here's a cross pitch with that.
Oh.
So you don't end up the dumbest person in the world. Why don't you just invent like fashionable collars people can buy, or necklaces or jewelry, that just zaps them when they get that specific synapse to do stupid shit. Just treat them like a dog that keeps peeing on the carpet.
Sounds like a reverse setup for the Matrix. Instead of humans producing all the energy, the humanity would suck up all the energy in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone soon becomes Electro from the Spider-Man movies with how much they get sapped with energy, with electricity.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a terrifying timeline. What else is on Twitter?
Next US election, blackout across the entire state, the entire nation.
Oh no.
Anyways, Twitter question, am I right?
Yeah, way to make it political at the end. Jesus.
I didn't pick a side. I was just in general. I criticized the political circus. So, from J-Rock, would you or would you not? For all three, would you rather be able to shrink down to the size of an ant or grow to the size of a skyscraper? So basically the two Ant-Man settings. Which one do you prefer? You only get one.
How long am I going to be this size?
I guess...
Will I eventually return to normal size?
Be able to. So this sounds to me like...
It's like a power.
It sounds to me like something that, wording be able to, so you can shrink to a skyscraper or an ant at will and probably reverse it at will.
Oh, this is easy. I would turn to the size of an ant. I could sneak onto any plane that I want.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
And before people are like, why don't you just become the size of a skyscraper and walk in the ocean? You know how much shit's in the ocean? Like, I don't care if the length of my gate can get me over to Europe. I'm going to cause collateral damage. I don't cause collateral damage just going onto a plane as a tiny, tiny ant.
That's exactly my thinking, too. I was like, yeah, I'd shrink down to an ant because, I can, like, kind of sneak around some places. Whereas, if I'm the size of a skyscraper, something's going to accidentally get destroyed, or like I'm going to trip and cause a tsunami or something.
I'm desperately trying to find a good way to be a contrarian, because I would probably also go, because being able to shrink sounds so much more practical. Because when you're a big lumbering monstrosity, let's ignore the fact that you soon would have to fight off helicopters trying to attack you.
Yeah.
It's so unpractical. I mean, okay, for traveling it might be good, but then again, I have ferrets. I know what a traumatizing non-stop stress it is to have to look where you are stepping at every step you take in your own flat. Now imagine you have to do this on a big scale, literally big scale. I mean, somebody in the chat was...
Here's a variable.
Yeah?
Would we still do the clothes shrink with us? Because then I would even make a bigger argument to being small. You know what?
Rip.
A small naked me is a lot less embarrassing than a giant naked me.
Also that. So somebody brought up Mount Lady in chat, where I'm like, okay, if I have a supervillain who also has the ability to go big, then I guess I would want to go big to fight them, or to fight off Godzilla or whatever. If Godzilla is currently in the kill all humans or not defend the humans mode. But in a scenario where I'm the only one with a scale-changing power, I guess I would also go for small life. Sorry, this would you rather had a unanimous answer. This is like split the room in Jackbox game. You want to make it that it splits the room.
I mean, also the thing of, I just imagine how much terrible vertigo you'd get by being as tall as a skyscraper, because the air is thinner at that point. So
I mean, isn't this a thing in Ant-Man and the Wasp that he literally passes out when he stays big for too long because his circulation is not able to keep up? But for the sheer fact of I can travel on any plane I want and no one has to see me naked, then I think we're going with small.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Back to Discord.
Okay. Let's see. We don't talk about Uno asks, great name, Charlie. Okay. I hate Discord for this exact reason. Yesterday was What Movie Traumatized You as a Kid Day. So, what movie traumatized you as a kid? This is a great question.
Oh.
What movie just stayed in your brain and haunts you to this day?
Oh, to this day, not. But I had a proper trauma. Funny enough, it's not a movie, but actually a scene from a show, which in hindsight is like, wow, I was a weak child apparently. So I'm pretty sure I probably have to go back and watch the show to find it. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm not scrambling my memories completely, it was the old Star Trek, like Captain Kirk, the TV show. And there was just one scene where some alien soldiers keep marching forward with some kind of fluffy masks, and there's some shooting in the shield, and for some reason that kept haunting me and coming back to me in dreams. It probably, if I would not have just gotten this tiny glimpse and then moved away, probably seeing the entire episode and not just having this singular impression of those monsters walking towards the humans would probably not have even left this much of an impression. But yeah, the way it turned out, that one stuck with me, weirdly enough, and
mine is also one from Star Trek.
Oh, really? Damn, I was not aware that this show traumatized so many children.
Next Generation era, I think it was the first movie that takes place with the Next Generation cast. It's only one scene from it, but it instilled a fear that I still have, which is it's that extreme zoom in on Picard when the needle goes into his eye, and it's that split second, and that I can't stand anything in media or in real life where there's actual things going into eyes, or if it's like a cartoon and lemon gets put into the eye and stuff. You know how when guys see another guy gets kicked in the nuts or something, they have the flinch. I have flinch with my eyes. I'm just kind of like, oh, no. There's some people that have a thing against face melting and shit. Mine is eye torture. And it's because of that fucking thing, because I saw it when I was 5, and I don't think I've watched that movie in full until I was maybe 17.
But it's such a good movie, sadly.
It is a good movie. Doesn't mean that didn't traumatize me as a kid, and that was the question. What about you?
So which product of John Roddenberry's damn it, how to pronounce his name, universe did traumatize you, Brad?
Just like something in general that
Yeah, but it would be so funny if it also would be Star Trek.
No. There would be stuff I would look away from as a kid, but it would still be in something that I would watch like hundreds of times. There would just be a part, like, okay, off the top of my head, the heart ripping scene from Temple of Doom.
Kalima.
Yeah, which is like my favorite one. It's the one that I watched the most when I was a kid. It was the first one I saw because we saw it in theaters when it came out. And then after that, I went through this phase where I was watching it all the time. But that part did still freak me out. Just when it came on screen, I would just kind of look away or something when the heart was getting ripped out. That's the main one I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, you know what's another one? The life force sucking scene in The Dark Crystal. That fucked with me as a kid. Just seeing the puppet that's all sunken in and it's like, no, sir, I think I'm good.
Dark Crystal in general had some fucked up shit, but funny enough, it did not traumatize me.
Feel a Day didn't traumatize me, and I saw that when I was
that was also messed up.
Old.
I saw that for the first time like a month ago.
I
really enjoyed it.
It's objectively a pretty good movie.
I'm pretty sure.
If you do not like corpses being puppeteered like dancing little kitties, maybe don't.
But here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when it first aired on TV in Germany, somebody just probably looked, some channel executive looked at it, was like, oh, look at those Disney-esque looking kitties. That's a primetime show and not a late night show. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure after that it definitely screened in late night programming, but I'm pretty sure at one time when it first came out.
All those kids who saw the sex scene between the two cats, which is weirdly realistic if you've ever seen cats mating.
Yeah, you see, we here in Germany, sex is less of an issue of literal gore and guts flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I know, but you got to admit, a bunch of kids watching, because cats mating is not a pleasant experience. Those things have spikes. So, exactly of the sex kinds to have in front of your children. But yes, anyways, back to Discord. Thank you for the... Oh no, it would be Twitter now. That was a Discord question.
I have last one. No hashtag, but I found it anyways. For the very first ever, would you rather from Enigma Prince? Okay.
Special.
It is. So let's see. Would you rather have your favorite hot drink, but it burns your tongue with second-degree burns for 10 days? I guess that's already a no. Or have a bad fall on some ice from landing on your ass, but it goes viral. I don't see any downsides on the second one.
Yeah, the viral thing.
Yeah. Let me go viral.
Yeah. Like, I could, because I could use that to promote my channel.
Yeah, and I don't want to have coffee or tea or whatever as my favorite hot drink of the day burn my tongue to a really painful degree for 10 days.
Yeah,
you people are thinking with baby brain.
Oh, okay,
Let
please tell us why we are wrong.
I'm playing 4D, 5D chess here because here's the thing: if I'm getting my mouth burned for 10 days straight, I'm building up a tolerance, which means I will have the world's strongest tongue, which means I could probably do bets with people being like, hey, if I could drink this glass of boiling water, I would, like, just straight up boiling water, you have to give me $100.
You already can drink hot sauce as a cooling beverage.
Well, yes, but they don't know that. I'm just saying, look, for one thing, it wouldn't be a punishment to me. I put my mouth through torture every day. And then, because Lord knows if I'm not burning it with hot food or hot sauce, I'm constantly biting my tongue. Not in the metaphorical way. I literally bite my tongue a lot. The fact that I still have the tip of my tongue is a goddamn miracle of science. But,
I do too.
I mean, I open cans with my fucking teeth. These things could probably chop my tongue off. But the thing is, I view these things as kind of like in Dragon Ball, where you have like the giant fit, like the gauntlet things to do the punching to try to get stronger and stronger. That would be me. I'm going to go through my Herculean training by burning my tongue. This is an opportunity. And you guys just want to go viral for an easy thing, going on Easy Street?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Easy Street.
Yeah, because I love food too much to where I'm like, I don't want to not be able to taste anything for like 10 days and taking a gamble that like, well, what if there's some like irreversible damage that happened there? Yeah, I don't want to like...
You'll taste something. It may just be your blood, but is that really a bad thing? So,
I'm kind of like accidentally biting my own tongue anyway, because I do that a lot too.
But yeah, with that,
I know what nickels taste like.
All twittered out.
All right, we don't have much questions left. We have like one more question, and then the fuck, marry, kill. So let's see. Here we go. Also from Lieb. On the bus home from meeting my GF, from today's events, this question popped up in my head. What is the biggest crime you committed in your youth? Crime, sin, bad thing you committed in your youth?
My youth?
I'm not going to ask for context of why the events that you did. I don't want to know what you did. But, because that means I would have accountability. But what's the worst thing we did in our youth as dumb baby children? Does this, like, I mean, drinking out of the dog bowl does not count as a bad thing, I think. I was 2, okay? I thought I was a dog for, like, the beginning of my life. That's what happens when your parents basically have your family dog babysit you all the time. Oh, I did make my parents believe I was kidnapped when I was like 2 or 3.
Also. Oh, but not consciously, but more by being
Not
a child.
Not consciously, but the fact they almost called the cops, I feel like this counts as a bad thing.
Yeah, but
here's the thing, I was a pretty mild-mannered kid. Yeah, but I didn't really do anything wrong.
It seems to be childlike innocence, like doing something that causes parents to think you are kidnapped. Not sure if this counts as a thing, a bad thing maybe.
Okay, well, okay, I did think of one that's bad. So I was a friend to all animals, right?
Ooh-ha.
This is already a great start.
Yeah, I'm already worried.
And me and my next door neighbor, Brittany, who was like my best friend, because as you know, the kid next door is either your best friend or your worst enemy when you're like 5. So, you know, we were little kids and there was like a just an open spot in the concrete behind her house that just was filled with sand. So there were ants and stuff, and we would build little civilizations for the ants in like sand castles and stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what would be great? If they had a pool.
Yeah.
And so I poured just a bunch of water into there, and I was like, you know what would be great? If the pool had bubbles. Because, you know, I'm a kid and bubbles are cool. So I went into my best friend's house and grabbed their thing of dish soap and just went...
Yeah.
And so there's just soapy mud everywhere, and I was like, the ants are swimming! No, the ants are dead, young Chrissy. You just didn't realize that yet. So I think that says something about me, that's the closest thing I can imagine to doing a bad thing, is that I drowned ants. I was a good little kid. I never did anything wrong. I just was kind of like, hey, look at me. I'm just gonna play with my Pokemon cards and read a lot about space. Like, I guess plagiarism would be the worst crime there, because one time when I was in first grade, because I would watch a lot of TV shows that talk about extra credit, I was like, oh, I want to do extra credit. Not realizing I'm in first grade, the thing that we're learning is like 3 + 3, and I took a space book I got for Christmas and just wrote the entire book on construction paper. Like, took 3 nights and just wrote down everything that was in the book and gave it to my teacher. It was like, can I have extra credit? that
Sure. Here is an extra star for the board.
Yeah. I mean, she just gave it a check mark, and I was satiated. That was the type of kid I was. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a little rebellious person who got a Harry Potter scar because someone wanted to replace him in the circus.
I know, right?
But yeah, what about you two? Were you guys more rebellious children than I was?
I wonder if I should let Brett go first, just to see if he raises the bar enough for my story, or if I should jump forward with my story and free the space for him.
I mean, I could technically probably raise the bar, but I'm like, nah, none of these stories I'm thinking of. Yeah, none of these I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's also the thing for me. Should I say it or should? Okay, I'm going out there.
I'm like, no, a lot of this stuff, nah.
Whose dog did you kill? Like, what?
Oh no, nothing like that.
Stories.
Okay, I'm going out there. I shoplifted sweets from a grocery store.
No serial killer stuff.
I mean, it's a legit actual crime.
I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I guess there was maybe some times where I probably stole some shit. I can't remember. I mean, I would do pranks a lot, like icing the steps and big rambunctious shit like that. Yeah, when I was younger, I would party and drink quite a bit, and I was a DJ about 20 years ago, so I would drink a lot and go on the air when I was technically probably pretty damn tipsy. But yeah, those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head that I'd say.
I can't think of because I was thinking of what are stories Max has told me about his youth, because he's told me quite a few. And then but the worst thing I could think of didn't cause harm to anyone but himself, which was when you drank that Greek liquor and you
Oh, Uzo.
With the tube.
Oh, that thing, yeah. No. Oh, this is... I don't know. Should I go into the entire story of what not to do, kids?
Why not? Come on, it's better to no answer than...
Okay. So the evening it was. I went out with the boys for drinking in the park. That was the thing. It's so weird in hindsight that we just met when the weather was nice and we're going in the middle of the night onto children's playgrounds just to drink. Like not even vandalism, just to hang out and have alcohol. In hindsight, it's like,
sounds very Dawson's Creek of you.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't.
We used to do that.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't have our own places because we were all still living with our parents, so we couldn't meet at our place. So obviously, we met outside for the drinking. But yeah, so the thing was, this was probably my worst one ever. So it started out with me having one fresh bottle of orange juice. Cool. Only half a bottle of vodka. So what I did was I filled this half bottle with vodka with orange juice. So already quite the screwdriver right there. And then I still had this other half.
To screw yourself.
Basically, yeah. I wasn't the driver, thankfully. And then another half, and then with the second half of orange juice, I'm not sure if I did it right away or only later in the evening, I basically filled that one up with ouzo, which is a mentioned Greek spirit. And yeah, I don't know how much of the first bottle I drank, but it was a decent amount. And then I obviously moved on to the next bottle with the ouzo. And it was a lot of alcohol for even for my German liver. But where this got me was in a very, very silly mood. So when we had eventually arrived at the playground, another buddy who was wiser than me and was going for beers that evening. However, beer out of the tube. He brought his beer tube. So a piece of tube which is big enough to hold one...
I think in America it's called a beer bong.
Or that maybe, yeah. Where you can hold one bottle of beer in one go and then you put it there like bloop, it goes in one go.
Yep. Yeah, that's a beer bong.
So... he got his beer bong and his a few bottles of beer. And the thing about a beer bong is you cannot really do it all by yourself, like holding both ends, opening the beer, filling it in. So you need a little bit of assistance. So he asked me in my already very much kind of state. So he asked me to hold his bong while he was filling it in. And then also, then he was ready. So he was taking his end back. And... he then asked me to hold the other end and lift it up so it goes all in. So while he was getting ready on his end, I was like... So I basically showered him in beer. Now, to my credit, I was not the only drunk person this evening. I can prove this by the fact that apparently an hour later... he asked me again to assist him with filling his beer bong. So, once again, I'm holding the beer bong. He filled the bottle in. Then, when we reached the point where he wants to start drinking, apparently his memory must have kicked in again. And he was like, wait, déjà vu. I was here tonight before. So, when I go, obviously like... he did the same thing on his end, so we both blew into the bong at the same time with force. So it created pressure in it. And so what does beer, a drink with a carbonated drink, do when you do some shenanigans with it? So we both got a beer shower from the second bong, or I don't know, the second bong I was asked to assist.
You guys definitely hit it. Jesus Christ.
And the beauty of all of this is I don't know anything of that. I don't remember any. I remember mixing my drinks, going out. I remember a little bit of meeting at a friend's place.
One of the definitions of blackout drunk.
It absolutely was. So the next morning I woke up. I'm at home in my bed. I don't remember coming home. Blanket away. I'm still fully clothed. I guess I didn't properly go to bed last night. Getting up, back in the day, this was before I actually could have, physically was capable of hangovers. Sadly, nowadays I am. I didn't have a hangover, don't ask me how. So yeah, okay, going to the fridge. Now here it becomes interesting. I was still fully dressed, but going to my fridge, I put the remaining bottle of ouzo and orange juice back into the fridge. So I was conscious enough for that. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not sure if it was right away or later that day. I unscrewed it to figure out if it was just orange juice or mixed drink. And I sniffed in it and I was like, oh shit. I cannot smell ouzo anymore without feeling sick instantly. And this stayed with me for many, many years. I mean, many people would argue that ouzo in general makes you feel sick the moment you smell it.
The whole reason I know this story is because me and Max went to a Greek place once, and I think they gave me like a little shot of, because they were giving digestive, and I was like, and you were like, oh, here, you could have this one. And I was like,
nope.
And then I took a sip, and I was like, oh, and he's like, yeah.
And now add another reason to hate it. Anyways, that was a story that lasted for minutes. Let's move on. Whoa! It's happening again, for fuck's sake. Hi! It keeps happening today.
Anyone here?
Yeah, I'm back. Hello. Let me turn on my... Oh, I'm losing people. Okay, let's see if people return to the call. Fun! Okay. Oh, nope. Oh. Brad is back, and come on, Keyframe. There we go. Yeah, my Discord rebooted again, twice in one.
Fantastic.
This is great. I mean, we moved back in the day when we started this show. We recorded it on Skype, but Skype is shit. So we moved on to Discord, and now Discord is turning to shit too. Anyways, sorry. Next question.
Well, the next question is actually the fuck, marry, kill, so good timing.
Good timing indeed.
So Charlie gave us a good one. So here is the first FMK of the year, and what's better than action heroes? Something punchy and great. And this could also be called John Edition, because all these characters are named John. So we got John Matrix from Commando, John McClane from the Die Hard 1 through 3, the others don't count, according to Charlie, and John Wick from John Wick. So this is gonna be good. Brad, which of these Johns is gonna take your heart, your John, and then you're gonna send to the John?
And why?
Mary, I guess John Matrix. He's a good dad. And fuck.
Keanu or Bruce Willis?
Man, that's well, I guess if you killed John McClane, that would... If you killed John McClane after part 3, that would mean parts 4 and 5 didn't happen.
Not the worst reason we heard for a murder, so yes.
But granted, I don't even hate part 4, but it's not nearly as good. 5 is terrible. So yeah, okay, I guess that, and then fuck John Wick, I guess. Yeah.
Well, okay, not bad options. Max, I'm gonna give you the first choice of 2022.
Here's the thing, with this selection, I probably cannot fuck you over. Because they're all like, I guess you can spin any answer in a good way. So, let's see. Which way do I want to rotate this thing for my own personal reasons? Okay, it's actually easy. It's actually super easy, given by what Brett provided me. So, I am going to kill John Matrix. I mean...
okay, why?
I don't know. He's just this big buff guy. I mean, this is the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger literally just for shits and giggles and showing off carries actual tree trunks through the opening credits just to be like, look, this man has muscles. Wow. And
but it's the more realistic Alyssa Milano movie than Brazen.
That is true.
Wait, is she the little child from...
She was.
The little child from Commando is now in Brazen. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't get this connection earlier. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, also his daughter was so much more badass. If you in proportions, no? He is a little Commando, and then he's just like going Rambo. I don't know. I wasn't impressed. That's what I'm saying. I'm killing him because I wasn't impressed, because that's a very rational thing to do. When a person doesn't impress you, kill them. It's the normal thing, right? Right? Please don't let me hang like this.
You're just thinning out the undesirables.
I mean, I said not impressed. I didn't say... Anyways. So, yeah, Commando, but John Matrix, bye-bye. So then I got to fuck John McClane. I mean, he talks probably more about sex than the other two with Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Which, by the way, has such a brilliantly PG translation in Germany. In German.
What is it?
It's Yippee-ki-yay Schweinebacke. And Schweinebacke is like, so pig's cheek or whatever. It's such a playground insult. It's like, yeah, Schweinebacke, like, wow.
I mean, there could be a genius to that, because they are fighting German terrorists in the movie. So killing them and then giving them a playground insult to demean them could actually be counted as genius.
But they all speak German, and they don't make a big fuss about... Hans Gruber doesn't sound more German in German Die Hard than he does...
make him Bavarian, and then he'll...
Oh, then I want to see him die. Anyways, so yeah. But no, John McClane, I mean, he also is like... Maybe not as good as a family man as Commando, but then again, we don't really know what happened to the mom, do we? And come on, he's keeping his daughter out there in the wilderness with him. Like, let this girl go to school, give her an education, don't teach her the ways of the hobo. Or not hobo, he has a house. But the weird wood person. No, John Wick also. Not John Wick. McClane has family, right? There's a son in the follow-ups.
I mean, that's the whole beginning of the movie, is that he's seeing his family for Christmas.
Yeah, his son and daughter.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has an on and off wife, but yeah, daughter as well. So you see, this man can fuck. Even so, he and his wife hate each other. He managed to reproduce twice, so he seems to have some qualification for this job. Well, and then the very easy pick among those three, John Wick for marriage. I mean, it's not... first of all, he also was a very loving partner, to the degree where he was like, yo, all of organized crime, I turn my back on you. I'm so in love that I'm willing to turn my back on all of organized crime. This is a move, like... This man, compassion, very faithful over
a dog lover.
Yeah, then also a dog lover, so pets would be very welcome in his household. Then, of course, he is a great safety system. I mean, until he gets activated, he lives a very, very peaceful and pacifist life. But when shit happens, hits the fan, he can protect. So, also that. And last but not least, he is breathtaking. Come on!
This is how you fucked me over, because John Wick is the only one that actually fits my type when it comes to looks.
And now you have to kill him.
Are burly, like, manly men, and I like people who are kind of stickly.
Well, then do please explain us why you feel the deep urge to kill John Wick.
Because you stole him from me, and I'm gonna hurt what you love, just like John Wick.
Also, if you're married to John Wick, you'll probably die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just fulfilling the role that needs to be filled. But okay, so I'm killing John Wick because you stole him from me.
Hard but fair.
Then I'm going to marry Mr. Die Hard Man, John McClane, because
I mean, he is divorced, so he's free.
Yeah, you know what?
Die Hard's the best movie on the list.
That is, yeah. You know what? It'll be an interesting life because you know what? That I at least know that if I'm going to be around John McClane, because with John Wick, bad things happen and everything. With Die Hard, bad things happen, but the good guys win. At least if you go by the first movie, like. If I could just be like the badass wife that gets to crawl through the vents and beat up, basically 80s Nazis, I'll be happy.
It's like Avengers versus Justice League. One of them is there to fight for justice. The other one is avenge after shit already happened. John Wick is the Avengers to the Justice.
Also, like, if you marry John McClane, like, okay, worst case scenario, you get divorced. Whereas
John Wick,
John Matrix and John Wick's wives are dead.
Exactly. So I'm just going to, you know what? I'll have the fun that I get to have. Just make sure I sign a prenup and get a divorce afterwards. It's like, you know what? You were a fun vacation. Also, Christine McClane sounds like a really cool name. Like. Feels like I can do a film noir after that. That's always good. And then I guess I'm gonna fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger because, I mean, there's a story there. If he could pick me up like a tree trunk, I guess, and just go to. I don't know, cause like, man, that's not really my type. Here's how I'm gonna word it. I'm going to fuck him with the imaginary scenario that he's actually a bottom, like a submissive. So that way I could be like, I was able to top Schwarzenegger. I could take on you. So, like,
just admit that it's an accent. It's Flula all over again.
Shut up, you. Don't make this awkward, man.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward cast. Artwork and analysis, which you do not want to miss on awkward.